this my very controversial editorial is that our Afrocentrism must be underpinned by economics, not just politics. The Afrocentrism is underpinned by just politics, not economics. What am I talking about? Last week at the United Nations General Assembly, President John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, was applauded for speaking so well, and we agreed that he spoke very well. He was very well attired too. That was very significant in projecting Afrocentrism. It was great. And he spoke about the United Nations Security Council, about democratizing the Security Council, and also, more importantly, getting Africa a permanent seat. Now, that's where I start. This is going to be very controversial. William Ruto also spoke about it. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah spoke about it. Nana Akufo-Addo spoke about it. About all of these getting the United Nations to recognize Africa at the Security Council. It is important that the Afrocentrism be animated by economics. How do we expect, as Africans, how do we expect to be at the same table with America and Britain and France at the United Nations Security Council and have a veto power when we are consistently begging them for money? How does that happen? It's never going to happen. That's why it hasn't happened since Kwame Nkrumah's time. You are begging the guys for money and you say we should have the equal say at the Security Council. The United Nations, the power play is animated by economics. Why don't we hear African leaders at the African Union say that we are initiating a policy for clean water for all African children by 2030 and work towards it? In 2004, we started CTFM. One of the first stories that was done from the newsroom was about the West African currency, ECO. That was 2004, 20 years ago. And we have still not been able to achieve a single currency for West Africa. We have poverty. Here in Ghana, we are doing school placement. We don't even have enough data. We cannot generate the data to show that somebody who lives in Accra should not be given a day school in the northern region or in the Bono-Ahafo region. We don't know that. If you go to every African capital, every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, you go to Kenya, Nairobi, you go to Ghana in Accra, Lagos and Abuja, you go to N'Djamena, you go to Mozambique, Harare. Every morning, people are queuing at the American Embassy for visa. And you want to go to the Permanent Security Council with this same America that you are begging him for visa? It's important that the young people in these African countries, especially Ghana, will begin to ask our politicians the important questions. Is it the important question for our politicians to go to United Nations and be asking for permanent seat for Africa? Africa has come of age. In the year 2050, many children will be from Africa. What are we as Africans doing for those children who will be born? What are the political policies? We don't have clean water. Our schools are not great. Our hospitals are not great. They've not been great for the last 35 years. Every year, our leaders go and sit at ECOWAS, and they don't have a policy that can be successful to say that clean water for all ECOWAS children by the year 2030, and let's focus on it. Agricultural sustenance for all African countries by the year 2035. Let's focus on it. And we have our leaders go to United Nations Security Council and say, give us a permanent seat. It's never going to happen. It is never going to happen unless and until you have fixed the economics of your country, because the power play is determined by economics, not by politics. What did Kwame Nkrumah say? At long last, the battle has ended. And Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. Yes, we're free, but we are taking money from them. Look at the situation of Ghana, for instance. After applauding our president for the UN Security Council, UN General Assembly speech, the next day, we are jubilating, or the government is telling us to applaud them for restoring, guess what, visa status. 5-year multiple visa status. The foreign minister of Ghana titled it Good News. Ghana's foreign minister says that the best news he has had, which he titles Good News, is that America has restored 5-year multiple visa. And you want this America to give you equal status at the United Nations Security Council. It's never going to happen. And the youth, the youth, and those of us who are middle age, you are the people who are losing because you are not holding the leaders to proper accountability. What is UN Security Council permanent seat? It's so left-leaning, it's Cold War talk, it's gone, it's past. Show that you have credibility as a country that's able to manage your resources. Demonstrate that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Donald Trump became president and he canceled US aid. You are on US aid. You are on World Bank aid. You are on IMF aid. Yes, you can be on aid and still give your people water. You don't have water in your countries. Every morning, African youth are queuing to go and take American visa. And you say that the United States of America and Britain and France should give you the same seat at the Security Council. I don't think it's going to happen. And it should not happen. It will not happen. What must happen is that African countries must learn to harness their resources for the benefit of their citizens. They must be able to show a strong GDP growth. They must be able to show a very low debt to GDP ratio. They must be able to show competence at the work that they are doing. They must show the competence. Some of the African banks have showed competence. And so when you go to London, sometimes you see a Zenith Bank office. The banking sector in Africa, the leadership of the banking sector in Africa have been able to demonstrate global standards. Some great African companies have been able to demonstrate global standards. Steve Masriwa has been able to show. The Nigerian rich man has been able to show. What about the countries that are responsible for the youth? Why are they not able to show it? Why does Aliko Dangote become the wealthiest African sitting in Nigeria? What is happening to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people? There are great successful banks in Ghana. What is happening to the Ghanaian state? What model is a private bank using in Ghana to be wealthy and successful? That model cannot be transferred to the states, those who control the resources of the people. Why? And sometimes the youth, I wonder, we are all applauding, oh, President Mahama gave a good speech. President Mahama gave a good speech. It's a good speech, but is that what we need? Whether it's by President Mahama, or it's by President Akufo-Addo, or it's by President Kufuor, is that what we need? We can't get water, and our concern is Security Council or whatever. Somebody will say, okay, water is our concern, but Security Council is also not our concern. Security Council will come as a matter of course if you are able to demonstrate that you can harness your resources. You're a powerful country. How are you a powerful country? You're a powerful country because you are rich. For those of us who are middle-aged, just 20 years ago, 25 years ago, Russia was a nobody. When Boris Yeltsin was Russian president, Russia was on its knees economically. Today, Vladimir Putin comes and is able to harness Russian gas resources to supply the rest of Europe gas. And suddenly, Russia is a superpower again. Russia is a superpower again, not because of politics, but it's because of economics. And so Russia can stand up today and do the things that they are doing and speak the way they are speaking. Because when Boris Yeltsin was there, Russia could never attack Ukraine. In fact, Russia cannot attack anyone. They cannot even attack a small village of ants. In the days of Boris Yeltsin, they couldn't. They didn't have the wherewithal. They were broke. They couldn't pay for their bills. They couldn't pay for their gas bills. They couldn't resuscitate their military. Today, Russia has managed to harness its gas resources and is able to raise significant amounts of money to keep a full army at war, a war which the United Nations doesn't like. But nobody is able to say anything because Russian gas. When you're a European country, you challenge Russia, they cut off your gas. When will Africa realize that we are so endowed and that 24/7 we should be focusing on the competence of leadership that will allow us to harness our resources rather than talking at UN General Assembly and the Security Council, showboating, bragging, and talking about how we in Africa, we have plenty human beings and we'll have a lot of human beings by 2050 and population without money. You want to go Security Council? I don't know what you think. Share your views.